What is going on, comic book and San Diego Comic-Con 2022 familia? Yes, I mentioned San Diego Comic-Con 2022 because these are, I'm going to show you books and others like statues, little action figures that I bought for San Diego Comic-Con. My previous video that I just did a couple minutes ago, basically it was just talking about Comic-Con, how it went, the highs and lows, what I liked, what I didn't like about it. So if you want to check out that video, is the one just before this one. But this video is basically going to focus on comic books that I bought, and I bought 3 big ones on Sunday, and a couple of action figures that I bought too. I usually buy more action figures, but I said, you know what, I'm always buying them, and most of the time I don't have enough room in my house anymore because I have a lot of statues now and other action figures. So I really laid low on action figures this year, so I just bought 2. But as usual, whomever watches these videos, you know, I always appreciate it. I think you're gonna like this video because it's all about comic books that I got at San Diego Comic-Con and action figures that I got at San Diego Comic-Con. But if you do like it, leave a comment, you know, what you thought about this video, and I plan to do another video probably in a couple days, you know, talk about other recent pickups besides San Diego Comic-Con. But like I said in my previous video, I talked about the actual con and what happened, you know, my experience this year, how it was different from previous years. But like I said, this one is just, you know, stuff that I purchased at Comic-Con, and the last 3 you're gonna be saying, wow, I can't believe you bought these, and I can't believe I bought them either. But I'm gonna start off with showing you a couple of like action figures, so to speak, that I bought. These were all from Mattel, and I didn't buy any more action figures. I just didn't feel like doing it this year. But this one is a Ghost Rider by Marvel. Let me open it up here. If it takes too long, I'll do the editing so you won't see me messing around with opening this box. So they were only selling 1 per you basically, Mattel gives out these stickers or little, and it tells you what time to come back and to come back within a certain hour. Mine was at 12 o'clock. I had to get in line, but by the time I was done buying these 2 items, it was almost 2 o'clock. Yeah, I was standing in line for about 2 hours. I bought some other items for my cousin and some friends, but you know, when you go to cons, you try to help out people as much as possible, you know, so I had to stand in line, but you know, they didn't have to, and that's okay. You know, it goes back and forth. Sometimes they stand in line for me, so I can do something else, and yeah, it all works out as long as I get paid. So I'm okay with that. So this one is it's from Hot Wheels. It's Mattel, but it's Marvel. Is Ghost Rider Spotlight. Is basically the first Ghost Rider, but they made it into a little Mattel Hot Wheel, and hopefully you can see it. I'll bring it up really close here. Hopefully there's not too much of a glare. You see a Ghost Rider right there. And in the back, it just talks about Ghost Rider. It's like his 50th anniversary. You know, it's been around 50 years. So I thought this was a cool little item to buy. And you could only buy 1 of these per time you got into the Mattel's Hot Wheel line. You know, they just had a piece of paper, and under there it said Ghost Rider, but you only could choose 1 of them. I wanted to buy more than 1, but they probably thought it was going to be a popular item, so they limited just to 1 per person. Now, if I'd gotten another card for another different time, I could have gone back in line and bought another one, but I just did it once. Like I said, 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, just standing in line to get, you know, a couple of items from Mattel. No thanks, I was done with 1 time. So the second item that I got from Mattel, this is Star Wars The Mandalorian Razor Crest, the Beskar edition. This one you could buy more than 1, and I did, but I only wanted 1, and a couple of my friends wanted them, so I bought it for them. Like I said, you know, they just paid what I paid. You know, I wasn't gonna upcharge, you know, especially when it comes to friends. You know, if I ever sold it on eBay or somewhere else, maybe then, yeah, of course. But these are just, you know, regular, you know, price when I sold them to my friends. Let me open up this wrapping here. Try to be as delicate as possible because I do resell it. I want to keep it in most mint condition as possible. But let's see how this one looks like. So it comes in a box. There's no writing on the box that I see. It just says Star Wars Mattel right there at the bottom. So let me see how to open this up. Oh, here we go. Is this a tape here? Oh, okay. It says pull to remove. So here's a tab you're supposed to take out. I'm trying to be as delicate as possible, because in case I do sell it, I don't want to mess up the packaging that it came in. Let me see if I can take this out. Oh, here we go. It's just like a little Mandalorian Razor Crest. So everybody wanted this one too. You know, these had sold out by Sunday. They were gone. You know, they were still selling items at Mattel, but a lot of items were just sold out. Just the popularity of them. So it's quite heavy. So that's the two items that I got from Mattel. And let me see if I can put this back. I'll fidget with it later on, so I can just show you the comic books that I got. So these comic books, basically, a lot of them were exclusives. And what I mean by exclusives is that they're only sold during San Diego Comic-Con. And some of them also, if you go to a panel, like Marvel does this a lot. If you go to their panels, at the end of the panels, they give out gifts. And these gifts, 9 times out of 10, are comic books. So I try to go to those, because these are really, the ones from panels are really exclusives. You know, once they don't give them out, once they're done with the panel, and you know, that's it, you don't get any other books. But we did notice though, after each panel, there were a lot of books left over. So we were just wondering, you know, like, what do they do with these books? You know, do they give them out like to charity, or they keep them for themselves? But there were a lot left, because even though the panels were full, they make more than they need to give out. So, you know, I always thought if there's some left over, if people wanted more than one, you know, they should give it to them, because there's so many left over. But I have no idea what they do with them afterwards. So this first one we got was Daredevil has been rebooted again, and I believe issue number 1 already came out, but this is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I think it's a pretty awesome looking cover. So this is one of the ones that basically were free, you know, and like I said, after each panel, if there's a giveaway, they give them away basically towards the end of the panel. So this is the first one I got. This second one I got was also from a Marvel panel. Marvel seemed to give out the most comic books that I was aware of. And here's another exclusive. And like I said, these were absolutely free. I mean, I like going to these panels because they always talk about what's coming up with Marvel, you know, what's down the line for Marvel. And this is just an added bonus when they give away these, you know, very exclusive comic books. So I got this one. And the last one I got, it's a fold out cover. So there's 2 sides to the cover. This is the Women of Marvel. And you can see the front of the cover here. Here's the back. Yeah, so these were the 3 giveaways that Marvel gave. I always try to go to these because I'm always trying to pick up, you know, free books, and Marvel's always been my favorite, so I always try to pick up these books here. This next one, I wasn't planning on picking up this book at all. I didn't even know this book was available. One of my friends, we have a little chat group, and he posted that he had gotten it. And the minute I seen it, this was like towards the end of the day on Saturday, and I was tired. You know, I was just lying down basically on the convention lobby, and he showed this picture, and I got all like, I go, wow, you know, where'd you get this book at? And he told me, and this is one I wasn't planning on getting, but I liked it so much that I decided to get it. And there's 2 covers. One's a print cover, and the other one's a virgin cover. This came from Rated Comics. They're at ratedcomics.com. I'll put a link to their website in the description below afterwards. They were really nice people. They took time to talk to me about their comic books. You know, like I said, I always try to talk to people when I go to cons. I ask them, you know, how they got the idea to do this book. You know, do they give the artist any input, or they just tell the artist basically, you know, this is what they want, and then the artist takes it from there, and the artist do his thing. And I thought these were awesome covers. And this is the Mandalorian. Hopefully you can see Grogu off the reflection of the Mandalorian's you know, helmet. So like I said, Rated Comics is that they were very nice to me. I asked them all kinds of questions. I started asking them questions about the backboard because it was very sturdy backboard. I was like, wow, where'd you guys get this backboard from? And the Q&A person, quality person was there, and she goes, wow, I'm glad you're telling me this, because in the past, people were complaining about their backboards. I said, no, this is a very sturdy backboard. I forgot the material they said it was made of. For a little while, I was more interested in the backboard than the actual comic book. But this is, like I said, a printed version of it, and this is a version cover of the book. So I really like this book. We were talking, and like I said, I'm gonna visit them on their website to see what other books they have for sale. So I thought they're very nice people. That's one thing about me when I buy comic books. If I actually buy them off of people, like an actual comic book store, be it online or actually brick and mortar, if they're nice to me that's a selling point. Sometimes, I'm not saying everybody does this, but they're just short and just want to talk about business. But these people seem to be very interested in comic books too, which made a great conversation. So my next two books, I had actually done a commission. If anybody is unaware what a commission means, is when you go to an artist and you give them basically a blank canvas, which is a comic book, but the covers are blank. Here's the back of a book, for example, and the material is it's different than a regular comic book. They're able to actually do some artwork on there. So I met this artist, Caleb King, at WonderCon. I was I was looking at his work. I was going, wow, I bought some like small little prints from him. And as we finished talking, I said, hey, do you do commissions by any chance? He said, yeah. And I paid for 2 commissions at WonderCon, and I asked him, what's your next con? And one of them was Comic Con. So, I said, and he told me these will be ready by then. So I paid him in advance. And then, we kept communications on Instagram. I would send him a message, like every, once or twice a month, saying, any updates. He says, yeah, everything's on time. So I went to go pick them up, and I think these came out beautiful. I'm gonna put a link to Caleb's Instagram page too, if anybody wants to reach out and set up commissions, with them. It's a good price. I'm gonna say that's a very fair price of what he charged me for these. But the first one is here, Star Wars. Everybody knows this is a Darth Maul. So when I went to go pick him up, I kept on forgetting to go to his, he had a booth there, and I go, God, I didn't go like Thursday or Friday. I just kept on forgetting. I went, dang it, pick him up. And he was wondering the same thing. He was wondering if I was going to go there and meet him, because if you didn't meet me there, he said he was going to mail him to me. So this is the first one, Darth Maul. And the next one, both of these came out really nice. I mean, I'm looking at them right now. They're just awesome. This one is of Ahsoka from Star Wars. So I was very pleased with these 2 books. Now, normally in the past, I would, go get my books CGC'd or CBCS. That's when they are encapsulated. But I'm just I won't say I'm 100% done with doing that with my own books that I get that are not CGC'd and CBCS, obviously. But when I get new books, I'm just shying away from that. I mean, I love, the way the books look encapsulated, but the whole process has just burnt me out. And that's just my opinion. In the future, I may go back to get them graded, but for now, I'm just glad that I have them, and, so I can admire them. They're very nice looking books. I'm very happy. And these were the only commissions that I got from Caleb King. I usually get a lot of commissions, but I just decided to hold back on commissions this year. Now, these next 2, one thing about Comic-Con is you run into comic books, so to speak, like the ones I showed you, The Mandalorian and Grogu. I had not expected it. These 2 books are from a really great artist, Todd McFarlane, and they were limited amount, and I thought they were just sold out for the day. But I just happened to be walking around the Image booth, and I asked somebody, I seen the books, and he goes, are they still for sale? And they said, yeah. So I grabbed 2 of them, and these are blank covers, but this is World Record Breaking Comics Spawn #1 of 1500. And it's like golden right here, you can feel it. Well, you can't, but I can. It's embossed, if I'm saying that word right. And you can see you can feel the wording. It's like thick. So that was a cool cover. And the second one was the same cover, but it came signed by Todd McFarlane. Like I said, this was at the Image booth, and the thing about it, you could, I know I was talking about grading previously, you could get these graded, but there was nobody to verify his signature. At CGC was not there, representative or CBCS, because they didn't allow it. They said, this is just for fans, want to pick it up, I'll sign for it, you know, if time permits, but you can't have CGC, you know, verify the signature. So, which is a good thing since I don't go to CGC or CBCS anymore. Okay, so these next two are Berserkers #1. The artist's last name is Moore, and issue 1 came out like about less than a year ago, but these are special San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, so I bought a couple of these. And this is the color version, and this is the black and white one. So these were starting to sell pretty hot on eBay. I may put a couple of these up on eBay. The next ones are from Boom Studios. Boom Studios was hard to get to for Comic-Con. There's always a long line, and a lot of times they sell out. So I was trying to get more than one copy of each, but every time I went in line, you know, they would give you updates, and they would say, Boom's, you know, Grimm by this artist, and that artist has sold out. So, you know, when I got there, I got some other books, but I just only got one copy of each of these, and I wanted more than one, but they were just sold out. You know, people wanted them besides me. Who would have thought? And here's the next one. Okie doke. These ones are from KRS, a company called KRS. Actually, they're based here in San Diego. I've bought comics from them throughout the years, and this is Harley Quinn. If I'm pronouncing the artist's name correct, if I'm not, I apologize. Sozomaika. This book came out previously, a couple months ago. You had it, but this is a foil edition. Basically, the cover is like a foil, and besides, you know, the regular comic books are just, you know, like, so to speak, regular paper, and the inside of the book is regular paper, but the outside is a foil version of this. Hopefully it's not too much of a glare. And this one is from Alex Ross, who's one of my favorite artists. And this is Batman #125. I thought this was just a cool looking cover, so I decided to get this one. Yeah, every time Alex Ross, his books are always at Comic-Con, and I always buy a few of them from him. I just think his artwork is very unique, so I'm a big fan of his, and that's why I got this one. And these next two, I got these from Trinity Comics. The owner, Matt, very nice guy. I've known him for years now, and these were by Adi Granov, and this is The Mandalorian. These were sought after a lot. This is one of the ones that I had difficulty getting, but I did get 2 sets of them, which I was fortunate. But they were only given like between 25 to 50 books per day. You're talking about over 100,000 people. Not everybody wanted this book, but a lot of people did, and I was just fortunate to grab 2 of them. Here's first cover. It's a colored version of it, and also came out with these little cards too with them. I thought were pretty cool. The same as the books, but they're just like almost like sports cards. And in the back, it talks about the Mandalorian, you know, like his saga in Star Wars. And here is the black and white one. They're basically the same, except one is comes with color, and this one does not. So pretty easy to tell them apart. Yeah, these are hot books. I may sell these. Who knows? You know, we'll see. And okay, these are the last 3, and these are the major books I was talking about. I came with the intent to buy some major books at San Diego Comic-Con if the price was right. I waited until Sunday, but a lot of times they say Sunday. A lot of the vendors, you know, want to sell their books, so to speak, so they don't have to have the inventory, you know, to bring it back. So I'm friends with Godly Comics. He works for Short Box. His name is Alexi, And I seen these books throughout the couple of days there, and the owner, Gene, was a very nice person. We had a nice conversation. Turns out he's from the San Francisco Bay Area like me, so we talked obviously about San Francisco. We talked about Mitchell's ice cream, one of the best ice creams, well, the best ice cream according to us in San Francisco, and we talked about different parts of the city, which was cool. I did not know that. And they had actually invited me to a party, I believe it was Saturday or Friday, I forgot which day it was. And yeah, I usually don't go to parties, to be honest with you, you know, but I just went to this one, and it was cool. It was nice of them to invite me there. You know, I seen other people that were on YouTube and Instagram, so that was, you know, it was fun. But on Sunday, I came with the intent, if the price was right, I went down to his booth. You know, we talked. I go, hey, can I talk to you about some of your books? He goes, yeah. You know, I want to know how much you sell them for. If he was in agreement, you know, we would reach a deal, which we did. So I bought them, and then I asked Alexi to come in to take a picture with us, and I'm gonna post all that. You'll see that. So I wanted to share it with Alexi because there's only one way I would have known about Shortbox, basically, was through him. So, you know, thanks Alexi, I think, because I paid a lot of money for these books. So, but here are the books. First one is Fantastic Four Annual #1. I've always liked this cover. It was a fair price, so I decided to go for it. It's a 7.5. Hopefully you can see without the glare too much. I know I said I'm not into buying or sending my books to CGC or CBCS anymore, and I didn't do that with these books. These books already came graded, you know, when I bought them. So yeah, I've always admired this cover, and it was a fair price. And like I said, but we negotiated with all 3 books. You know, this was like a last minute thing. So, you know, Gene, thanks again for making this deal with me. So, and the next one, I've always wanted this book. If you ever seen any of my previous videos, I'm gonna start going for my grails. I paid a lot of money for these. I won't say that I didn't, but what I plan to do now is I have a lot of books, so I'm gonna start selling them to recoup, so to speak, the money that I spent on these books, and I'm gonna back away from buying like newer books that come out like every month. You know, I think it's just time to slow down a little bit and focus more on books that I really want, my grails. That's what I plan to do. I already put a book up on eBay, and I sold the book. I've been trying to sell some books. Shortbox, you can sell books there too, so I kind of put a couple of my books on there, see if there's any takers. I'll put the link to Shortbox on the description below if anybody wants to see their site. They're really nice company. I mean, they just down to earth people. I was talking to Gene, you know, he's a comic book. He cares about comic books, loves comic books like I do, which made it, you know, we had a great conversation, you know, when we were trying to figure out if I could buy these books or not. So like I said, I'll put the link to their channel in the description below, and I'll put a link to their Instagram page too if you want to check it out. My next book, these are 2 big ones, man. I can't believe I bought these books. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, these books are mine now. You know, I think I have like 3 more books that are my Marvel grails that I would like to have. I don't know if I'm gonna have them, but if ever comes the opportunity that I feel is the right time, you know, I will buy them. I'm like about halfway done, you know, with my grails. So this next one is X-Men #1. Yes, X-Men #1 is the origin of the original X-Men. You know, Jean Grey, Cyclops, Beast, Iceman, and Angel. Yeah, I can't believe I got this book, but this is one of them that I wanted, you know, so I just went for it. You know, I go, when am I going to get these books? I already got AF-15, and I just said, you know, I want to get these books, you know, and unfortunately, I was able to. And I figure, you know, worst comes to worst, if I ever need to see these, if I ever need to sell these books, I'm gonna make, I could say mostly the majority of my money back, or even more so. You know, depends on if the book is hot again. So this is the first one. The next one is, to me, this is the first family of Marvel, and this is what first drew me to reading comic books as a kid. You know, reading Fantastic Four. I've always enjoyed reading their books, and to this day I still read them. You know, I read all the books. You know, I just, like I said, comic books have been a lifelong passion of mine. And this book was available for sale too, so I just went for it. I go, you know, I had the money on hand, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm gonna get this book, but I got it. Fantastic Four #1. always wanted these books. You know, I'm halfway through my grails. You know, I got AF-15. I got these 2 books now. I would like to get, I don't know if I ever will, but I would like to get the first Thor, Iron Man, and Hulk. And I would like to get the very first Spider-Man #1, not his origin, which is Amazing Fantasy 15. This is when his regular series started. So I got 4 books, and I don't know. You know, I'm gonna try to sell my books to recoup the money that I spent on these books. And if I do get that far and I recoup the money, then I may try to get the other books, you know, try to sell as much books as I can. Like I said, I'm easing off on buying recent books. Excuse me, I'm this, you know, not gonna buy as many because I want to save up my money for my grails. I just figured that it's time. So I hope you like this video. Like I said, these were just books that I got at Comic-Con and a couple of you know, these little statues or whatever they're called. That I got from San Diego Comic-Con, and that was it. That's all I bought this year. I know the last 3, yeah, it was a lot of money. So, but once again, this is Efren, Past Point Comics. If you like this video, please leave a comment, and if you do like it, like I said, you know, hit that like, subscribe, and notification button. Until next time, everyone, please be safe and take care.